Okay, what I'm going to attempt to do here is to show you how to edit movies on the Sanyo xacti. And the reason I'm going to do that is because when you're just trimming the ins and outs of the movies, maybe you started shooting before the action began and you want to trim the in point, and perhaps you judiciously held on the shot at the end and you want to trim the out point a little bit. Um, this is an operation that's actually best done on the camera because the encoding on the camera is done in hardware, and since it's a long GOP format, it knows where to choose the endpoint and give you a decent end result, and you can save a new file. Now, because it's done with a chip in hardware, you're going to find that it's much faster than using a piece of software on your PC or your Mac. In particular, QuickTime really kind of works poorly for this procedure and sometimes crashes, and it's very slow. So I like to just do it on the xacti. Now the first thing that I do is I go into play mode here, see if I can do it, and in play mode it should load the last thing that I shot, and that's not the one that I want. So here it is. It's a little clip of L. Ron Hubbard's Winter Wonderland that I shot on Hollywood Boulevard, just to indicate how Scientology seems to be taking over the whole of Hollywood in a very physical manner. So if I were to play this movie, you'd see that there's a lot of kind of false starts, and I did about 3 takes in one shot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to toggle down with the select button. Most of the operations are done with select and menu. So I'm going to choose the menu button right now, and I'm going to I'll get the play menu. Oops, I pressed the wrong one. Okay, so here we get the playback menu, which includes extracting a still, which we can then edit and resize. But I'm going to edit video, so I'll toggle down to that and I'll say OK. Now what I want to do is cut. I could join 2 movies together, and sometimes you might want to cut the ends off of 2 movies and join them together and do a sort of fancy in-camera editing. So in this case, we're just going to trim the ins and outs. So I'm going to say OK there. Now what happens is you get this cryptic display, and essentially what it's showing you is the ins and outs. Now if you look down at this little icon right here, this sort of circular icon, you can see that the in point is green. Now if you hold the select button, you can sort of play through your movie until you get to the place where you want the endpoint to be. Now I happen to know that I'm going to play it at times 2 because it's I just click select again. It's kind of close to the end where I want the actual endpoint. It's the last take. You'll see it starts to zoom out right there. Okay, so now I'm going to go backwards because I missed it. So what I'll do is I'll just click the select button left, and then when I get to the stable endpoint right about there, I'm going to just press stop. Now if I want to edit the out point, what I have to do is, and I kind of missed it there, is toggle up on the select button, and that's going to shift the icon to the endpoint. And as a matter of fact, I don't want to edit the endpoint in this one because I happen to know that it's it's okay. So what I'll do is I'll just times 2 times 5 towards the end. Okay, so now I've selected just this region from the original clip, which spanned that whole time frame, and you see it says press shutter to save. So what I'll do is I'll press the shutter button. In this case, I'll just press the camera shutter button, and I have my choice of save as new or overwrite, or I could review the clip and see if I like it. But I think I'll like it, so I'm just going to say save as new, and you'll see that the processing commences, and once it gets underway, opens the file. It's rather speedy, and now what we can do is press menu and make sure that we're at the correct movie, the last one, and press play, and you'll see that we get a new shot that just begins with a tight shot of L. Ron Hubbard's Winter Wonderland and pulls out to a wide shot of the beautiful Winter Wonderland display. So that's basically all I wanted to show you. I think it's a nice interface, it's a clean interface, it's pretty easy to use once you get familiar with the toggling operations that you need using the set button here to set the endpoints, and also keeping in mind that you need to be in play mode to get to the edit features, and you press the menu button to get to the edit features. And really, it's as simple as that. Now when you're finished, you can remove your SD card, pop it in your computer, and now your file is already trimmed to the correct ins and outs. And I think you'll find it works better than trying to do it on your machine, at least at this point.